Right, but the French do it, I think, better than any other side in world rugby, and you know, they're so comfortable with their ball in hand, and it's great to see.
Attacking wise, the French flair, we've seen it more probably in these first 35 minutes than we've seen in the first 4 games of pool play, but also defensively. Look, they've needed 96 points in pool play. That's their worst defensive effort ever in any Rugby World Cup, and they've kept England to 0.
You know, it's only France that can come back from absolute despair and play like potential world champions, isn't it? And you know, I don't think this England side are mugs by any way, shape or form. You know, they're competent rugby players. They play a high level of rugby week in, week out. They're used to mixing it with the best of them. And
put the mouth guard back in.
Was there regulation?
Put the mouth guard back in.
Engage.
Oh, his poor brother got handed a $10,000 fine. Oh, that's a joke.
You just watch this pressure from the French scrum.
Yeah, but they're happy, Carl, playing the game the last 3 minutes of this first half, deep inside England territory. They don't care. They'll play the rest of this game. They'll scrummage for the rest of this game. Look at them. They love it.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
These boys do not care what happens to their ears at the end of their careers. They love it.
Number 9, Drew, away you go.
Yeah, I just think France there, Yashvili, a wee bit silly and getting hold of Ben Youngs and chucking him backwards. And okay, it's 5-6 yards from the England line, and they're not going to score from here. But they just, you know, they're wasting an opportunity potentially.
They just have to play smart football, don't they? And that wasn't very good from the guys who had a huge influence. We'll see him here. Just kick his opposite out of the road, and you can't do that as much as you'd love to sometimes.
Good take. Louis Deacon. Now England off to Tuilangi. He's looked threatening every time he's got the ball. Wilkinson. Skip pass to Fonich. It's Wilkinson again. Beautiful pass. An offload to Ashton. Is that Nick Easter? Steaming onto the ball. This is better play by England. Flood. Tuilangi puts on the step. Aronoriki makes the tackle. Now England making some good inroads. Easter. Now Ashton puts on the afterburners back inside to the left-hand winger. Mark Kudo. That's the French line. Just 5 meters away. Matt Stevens back to the blind side. Mark Kudo got in the way. It looks as though obstructed the pass, and another scoring opportunity goes begging for England.
Oh, frustration, isn't it, for the English team? It was Johnny Wilkinson, the man who made the break with a great little flick from his right hand to Nick Easter on the burst.
Yeah, the lovely one-handed pass there, and Nick Easter, he did very, very well. He's a big man, but again he laid it off. Here Flood just flanning through. Nick Easter again, and Mark Cueto. Chris Ashton, inside pass to Cueto. Great tackle from Dusatoir there. And this, I think, was the last passage of play. Just with Mark Cueto running back, it hit his shoulder.
Great scrambling defence here by the French team, you'd have to say also.
Yeah, terrific tackle there by Dusatoir, the French captain. And the England, you know, we talked about these small things in France. They just can't afford to give England a snippet there. A simple penalty 2 minutes earlier, 5 yards from England's line. A nothing penalty, and look where they are now, 10 yards from France's line.
As the clock winds down in the first half. Boy, would England love to get a try or any points heading into the sheds. Thompson relays the ball back. Ball goes to the ground. There's Wilkinson. Great pickup. Throws the ball out. Chris Ashton couldn't pull it in. And that will about do it for the first half.
It's oranges.
In fact, that will do it. Johnny Wilkinson again just unable to hit the last target to get England over the line. So they will go first 40 minutes scoreless. 16-0 down against France. E ngā karangatanga maha huri noa I te motu, hoki ora mai anō, whakaata Māori, me tēnei kapa wiwi kei runga noa atu te kaumaono ki te kore, I runga ake ia I ngā rangi. Plenty for the French supporters to cheer about. Their team is up 16-0. I repeat, 16-0. Vincent Clerc, Maxime Medard, try a piece, Yashvili, two penalties, but only shooting at 40%, also a missed drop goal, whereas England, they had a couple of opportunities, albeit rare, but they were unable to cross the line. But you can be sure that Martin Johnson would have got stuck into them, and they'll be up for it in the second half.
I think that's probably the understatement of the century, actually, and I think that England, they always change their shirts at half-time. They disregard those first-half shirts. They did them no good. Can these shirts that they've changed into inspire this English team to remain in this competition? Boy, they've got a long way to come back from.
I don't think Freddie Mercury would have been singing a sweet tune at the half-time break, but that is the last 40 minutes. Now we have 40 minutes to go to see whether France can hang on and secure another semi-final spot, or will it be England with a huge comeback? They carry on to their quest to win the Rugby World Cup. Medard, his kick goes straight up. Bounces off the shoulder. Toby Flood.
Well, it's an interesting situation, isn't it, for the French team? Do they carry on with reckless abandonment, or do they start playing a little bit more smarter, plugging their corners? And England had on a couple of occasions that first 40 did threaten to see the French team conversely grow in confidence as they got points on the board.
You know, Carl, I just feel...
Grow in confidence as they got points on the board.
You know, Carl, I just feel that this match is France's to lose. You know, just don't give England anything. Don't give them a chance at a penalty to kick for goal. And I just feel if they play smart rugby, then they're going to be into the semi-finals next week.
The two tightest games they had in pool play, they won it in the dying stages, both against Argentina and Scotland. Can they do it again? Yashvili, Yano Nale, terrific in the lineouts first half. Julien Bonner. Yashvili to Para. Memo. Rugari. English player down. Didn't quite catch the number. Somebody definitely needing attention, but Steve Walsh continue to play on. Now Yashvili miscue on the kick, so they'll bring the line out back just inside their own first half of the field. Possibly Tom Palmer.
It was the right option though there from Yashvili. Unfortunately, execution wasn't. There was no one in behind in the second line for the English team, so there was a lot of space. It found ground and coming to touch.
Yeah, almost the first mistake that Yashvili has made in open play. Obviously missed 3 kicks at goal so far in the first half, but you know, he's been very, very strong in that half-back position, just marshalling his forwards, keeping them going, working around them, and then feeding off Para. Para, for me, you know, there are a lot of people were talking about Tran Duke should have been playing in first 5, but you know, Para has played very, very well with Yashvili.
Tom Croft, I think it was, just got his head in the wrong position, didn't he? You see it here, just get his head in the front leg, should have been behind in the hip, just takes a knock right on the temple.
He's a big lad, that Rougerie, mind you. I wouldn't fancy tackling him.
Very experienced campaigner, playing the 69th test for France. Now England. Tuilangi. Ball gets ripped out, but it comes back into the safe hands of Nick Easter. Penalty going.
You see there on that attack was a great flat pass from Johnny Wilkinson out to Toby Flood, who bounced out. And the forwards come in for the dummy hit, just getting the ball to the number 13, Tuilangi. They see as a threat in midfield. It's always going to be a set-up ball from them.
It's great. I'm getting messages from our studio with Case Muse. He's saying it's Yano Nale. So making sure to get my French pronunciation right. And he's also saying, tell Carl to brush his teeth.
It's amazing how Case Muse never passed English, but he can give advice on French.
Back to the game. England. Well, this would do their confidence a world of good if they're able to cross, get points on the board early in the second half. It's a great take by Tom Palmer. Now the big drive goes on. Making good progress. The ball spills back. But no, according to Steve Walsh, it went forward.
No, I think he just went into his own man there, unfortunately. The English team, they were looking strong and they were very structured in their drive, and unfortunately for them, because that's their staple diet, that forward play, and they were looking threatening, weren't they, Gavin?
Yeah, they were indeed. And, you know, England, they just need a wee bit more composure in these situations. They're doing very well. There was some good driving there, straight through the middle from that line out. And, you know, just again, that small margin of error, which, yeah, it sort of knocks them off their stride, particularly if France are just going to win the scrum and then boot the ball 30 yards downfield again.
The longer they go and these mistakes happen, we obviously know that frustration does build, and when they do start pushing the pass, pushing the ball, this French team, that's what you don't want. Look like the English coach Martin Jotton's going to the bench pretty early.
Yeah, Courtney Laws warming up. Gifted athlete, 2 meters tall, only 22 years of age. She got suspended. Spent a couple of weeks on the sideline during the tournament, but now he's back for the knockout phase. Ashvili again punts the ball high. Box kick. Fodden looks to run. Great tackle for Morgan Parra. French first 5. Very effective this evening's quarterfinal match. Also, if you want to win tickets, if you want the best seats in the house for the final, stick around with Māori Television right up to the semi-finals. You could win 2 the best seats going at Eden Park for the final. You might see one of these teams there. Great tackle again by Parra, this time on captain Lewis Moody. It's Flood to Tuilangi. Johnny Wilkinson playing 3 out wide. Inside to the flying winger. No, that is the hooker, Steve Thompson. Reminds me a little bit of Norm Hewitt, our mate down there in Wellington. He loved hanging out on the wing. Scored a few tries. Ball spills out. There's Dusatois. Almost secures a turnover for France. But Thompson is isolated. Throws the ball back. Good defensive pressure there by the French, and they'll turn the ball over. Well, the English looks as though they were ready to go for a scrum. The French, they want to keep on playing. Rougerie.
Great defence here from the French team. I was just admiring it. Phase after phase after phase. They slid well. England tested it, went side to side. But just the front foot and foot speed of the French team just shutting them down.
Carl, for me though, the England are playing as individuals. There's no unity there. There's no teamwork. You look at the way that the French side, when they're going forward, they've got 2 or 3 options. England are just taking the ball into contact. They're on their own. They're isolated. And that's why France are prospering at this moment in time. Will this man, number 19 for England, Courtney Laws, make a difference? He may well do. But I tell you what, England are just they're creating problems for themselves because they just seem to be not having a game plan. They're taking the ball and they're taking it into the heart of the French defence with no real plan as to what to do next. France are lapping it up.
Just seems to be hands-on, isn't it? Just chucking it through